Follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
On stage rocking out stir crazy. Coco flow like 1980s. Come lit still I drop lazy. None of that maybe. Energy. Energy. Energy.
Just vibe. Voting on 45. Don't get out of line. Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Pick a side.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I am your host, Robin Ayers, and I'm with you guys Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Hello to you, Ross Squad. I see you, Penny Thompson. I see you, Deborah Chakoa, in the YouTube building. I see you guys. Appreciate you guys as you come on in. I hope you are having a lovely Friday. We done made it to the weekend, y'all. We done made it to the weekend. I hope it's relaxing for you, whatever you choose to do. I personally am going to be working through the weekend. What's up with that? It's all good. No complaints. It's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing. If you want to call throughout today's show, you can always do that. A lot of you choose to just sit back and relax and enjoy the show, and that's cool. But if you ever want to call in to add your opinion, you can do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. You could also join us over inside our YouTube chat because it's fun over there. It's a community that we're building, and that's always a good look as well. Lastly, feel free, if you have not downloaded our KBLA 1580 app, please do that. Go ahead and download it. It's just a good look. And you can also use our open mic feature that's at the bottom of the app. A lot of you, I listen personally. I listen to these, to the voice notes that you guys send. I hear so many different opinions about a lot of different things, but what I love is that the community is speaking. You guys really have strong opinions on things that we may say on this show that you totally agree with or sometimes disagree with, and all of it is welcome. We listen to it, so just want to put that in you guys' ear. Let me get to some updates for you guys. I want to send a special happy birthday to Boris Kodjoe. Y'all know him, the actor Boris Kodjoe. He is married to Nicole Ari. Beautiful couple. And wow. Yes, live it up over there, Boris. Also, congratulations to Deandra Sanders. Y'all know her as the daughter of Deion Sanders. And she announced that she's pregnant with her first baby. She had a lot of medical issues, and this is something that is now near and dear to my heart. I perk up whenever I hear women talk about any sort of issues with their reproductive system, and she's got a lot. She's working through a lot, so it's definitely a blessing that she was able to get pregnant, number one, and hopefully, prayerfully continuing to see this pregnancy out. She is having her baby with singer Jacquees. And, yeah, they seem happy about it. So congratulations to them. Speaking of pregnancies, Drea Michelle, 39-year-old Drea Michelle, she announced finally, because the public was speculating, they were looking at her wearing bigger clothes and all that. She finally announced that she's having a daughter with Houston Rockets shooting guard Jalen Green. And he is 22 years old. And the reason why people are talking about it, of course, because Jalen is the same age as Drea's son. Her oldest son is 22. So people have all kinds of things to say about it. I'm like, these days, you know, we see so many different things. I mean, if we didn't say anything negative to Cher and Alex Edwards, why would we trip on Drea and Jalen Green? Just let them live their lives. And now they're having a baby together. So, you know, congratulations to the happy couple. Let's go ahead and get into the Rob Report, Andy.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay, we are talking about a few things today, but primarily I really want to get into this Mike Epps talk, this conversation about survivor's remorse. I don't know if you guys remember this television show. It was back in 2014 to 2017. And it was produced by LeBron James, and it's actually probably a story about his life as well, loosely based on him, about survivor's remorse. And although, you may or may not know about that specifically, surely you know what it is. For those who don't, it's a mental condition that occurs when a person believes they have done something wrong by surviving a traumatic or tragic event when others did not. For oftentimes we apply that when someone has become successful, such as Mike Epps. That's why we're talking about that today. He became successful and he had to deal with survivor's remorse. And we're going to listen to him talk about a clip and how he was dealing with it. He talks about, the drugs that he was using and, some of that pain, some of the pain points, going back to the hood, going back to the people where you came from, your friends, and how they dealt with it. So that's an interesting conversation that we'll get to, as well as some other hot topics. We're going to get to it all on the other side with our contributor for the day. We're going to get to it. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on The Rob Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. By any other name, we demand environmental justice in 2024 and beyond. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Taco Bell just added the cheesy double beef burrito to their new Cravings Value menu, where all 10 choices are $3 or less, which means you can get the beefy cheesy burrito you want for the price you want. It's almost like you can have your cake and eat it too, but in this case, it's a burrito. So basically, you can have your cheesy double beef burrito and eat it too, which is nothing like cake, but you get the idea. The cheesy double beef burrito is here. Get your worth at Taco Bell today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations while supplies last. Contact stores for price and participation which vary. Double the seasoned beef as compared to the Burrito Supreme. Tax extra.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears, thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, here to dive into these topics with me today, we have on the line again with us Chris Gunther from The Chris Gunther Show. Hello to you, Chris.
Hey, Robin, what's going on with you?
You know, I am doing fantastic. It's the weekend. It's Friday. You know, I'm feeling pretty good. And you?
You know what? Anytime I'm on with Robin Ayers, I feel a lot better. And I don't change up my plans on Friday for a lot of people. But like when you call, I answer. So
You
I'm
know
like, let's go
what?
ahead and do it.
Chris, that's a good look right there. I appreciate you so very much. This conversation, I've always been intrigued by it. There was a show, I don't know if you're familiar with, Survivor's Remorse. Did you ever watch that show, by the way?
I did. I did see it.
Okay, and I figured maybe you would because you're a sports guy, and the show was surrounding a family where there was a couple like the guy, the main character was he became a success in basketball, and so it was really the first time that I had focused on what survivor's remorse really meant. I had heard of it before, never really identified with it personally or thought that I did, but this was the first time I actually got to watch something where I'm like, oh wow, that's how it plays out, and that's how you have that's what people deal with when they make it out. And so you, Chris, especially coming from, you're over there in Ohio. I think you're in a smaller town, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Youngstown to be exact. Shout out to the Young.
Youngstown. Shout out to Youngstown. That's where my husband's family is from. So, you never know. We might know some of the same people, Chris. So,
And it's something how we all connected some kind of way. Yeah,
some
we're going to
kind
talk
of
about
way.
that off air. Off
Yeah,
air. There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. You never know. It's interesting. But a lot of the times, most people who experience something like this come from a smaller town. So when they make it out or, become successful, even if they're still there, but they become successful and they're around other people, they deal with survivor's remorse. And Mike Epps was talking about him that being, I know you recently spoke to him as well. He
Yes.
dealt with that. He had, he came from the hood, like many people can identify with that, came from the hood, and he's talking about the troubles that he sort of went through when he was sort of overcoming survivor's remorse. Let's listen to Mike Epps and what he had to say about it.
You know what I'm saying? I did most of the movies on cocaine. All about the Benjamins. I used to sit in Ice Cube's trailer in the morning and be crying, tears. He like, Mike, wipe your face, man. You a king. Stop doing this to yourself. I'm sitting there wiping myself because I was really, I had survivor's remorse. I was so sad that I left all them here in this city and I was famous. And when I would come home, I wanted them to be happy for me, and they was mad at me. So I said, damn, I got to destroy myself for you to like me. I was like, damn, my favorite, it seemed like he liked me more when I'm coming down off coke and I'm crying and I hate myself. He was like, oh, man, I love you. I'm praying for
Oh, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to hear that. It's definitely the crabs in a barrel, crabs in a bucket mentality. Number one, is there any way that you can relate to what he's saying? And I'm interested to hear your point of view just because I know you're from a smaller town too. So, or maybe if it's not something you currently deal with or have dealt with, do you think it's something you might deal with in the future? And how are you preparing yourself for that? You know what I mean?
100%. I understand it. And as Mike was talking about it, I just instantly started thinking about me and the situation that I'm in here. Coming from a very small town, you see a lot of survivor's remorse.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is, a little bit of a quick history fact. Youngstown at one point was a top 5 city in the entire country. But once the steel mills closed, a lot of the economy never recovered from it. But as a result, some people left and they started to do more and more and advance in their careers. But some people that were back home felt a little envious of that, and they would get jealous of it. So whenever somebody leaves and comes back, some people will try and hold it over their head that, man, you just left and I'm still here. And sometimes it makes us have to really sit back and reevaluate things because I've dealt with it a lot. Here I am from a very small city, but I've interviewed people like Mike Epps and Robin Ayers and Stephen A. Smith and Monique, et cetera. And I've had people who I thought were friends all of a sudden change on me because I'm actually out here making something of my life while they're still doing the exact same thing we did at 16 or 17. So therefore, I can understand where Mike is coming from, and I can relate to him. But if I could be very honest with you, I think and I don't think he meant to do this intentionally, but I think he didn't give himself enough credit, because if you watch the full interview, yes, he was cracking jokes, but yes, he was also still giving himself enough flowers. But in that particular section, he didn't give himself the flowers that he deserved. A lot of times what happens, we get so down on ourselves because, man, this person said this about me and this person's from my hometown, yet here we are continuing to elevate. And I don't think anybody, from whatever side of town they're from whatever part of the country they are from, nobody should ever dim their light to make somebody else shine. I disagree with that foolishness 100%, because as you slowly start to go up, you will see everybody is not for you, and that is okay, because it's your journey and it's your light that's got to shine. And if they are upset because they had these same opportunities but didn't do anything with them, that is on them. It is not on you.
Very well said. I guess maybe I was oblivious, I'm just oblivious. And they also say where you vibrate, is what you see. Basically, you can only see where you're vibrating. And I always vibrate very high, so I have a positive outlook. I tend to think that people mean well, when they say things or do things. I never really look at the low vibrational things, and so maybe that's why I've sort of looked past any of that. I remember, first of all, let me get to this comment. Chat Lives Matter in our YouTube says, whenever you reference crabs in a barrel, please explain how the crabs got in that barrel to begin with and what awaits those crabs outside that barrel. Context is everything. Yeah, it's something that I just assumed, that everybody understood, because that phrase has been around for a long time. But it's that metaphor. It derives from an anecdotal claims about the behavior of crabs when they're trapped in a bucket. More than likely, and if somebody out there knows something that I don't, I'm just going to explain it the way that I know it, what I know it to mean. But the crabs are trapped in there because clearly people are about to either, cook the crabs, or they're catching the crabs for, whatever the case is. But the crabs, as they're trying to get out, how they can probably easily get out, the other crabs will tend to bring those crabs back down. So that is, I assumed everybody kind of understood what that meant or where that came from, and I don't know what else you mean outside of that. But I'll say this, Chris, I remember a friend of mine. I ran into someone who I went to high school with, and I hadn't seen her in many, many years. And, I'm just like, hey, really good to see you. And she said, she was like, yeah, well, how are you? Cause they say you bougie now, or they say, you, and I was like, huh? I'm literally like the same girl. I live in the same valley that I lived in before, when I do the same things. Well, obviously, my career was moving forward and all that stuff, but everybody's living their life is what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. When I talk about high vibrational, I'm thinking everybody's doing their thing. Everybody's doing what's making them happy or whatever. And she was like, yeah, well, they say, you're this and you're that. And I said, wait a minute, who is they? Because you get what I'm saying? Or is this a you thing? But, nonetheless, she never really could form she never was able to tell me who they were. But I just thought it was interesting that there were actually people, if this is correct, or even if it's her thoughts, there were actually people who looked at me that way. So, to think like I changed up once my career seemingly, from their point of view, my career seemingly started to take off. But I never really had the remorse of anything. I never really had survivor's remorse, because in my my thought process was that everybody is moving in life. Everybody is doing something, to kind of move themselves forward. And so I think it's a shame. Obviously, it's sad because I know it's a real thing, and it really is a mental thing that you kind of got to overcome. In fact, 88% of you guys inside of our YouTube chat say that you have had or you've not had to overcome survivor's remorse. So you guys are much like me. Only 12% of you say that you have had to overcome it. So, Chris, I appreciate the background, the history of Youngstown. Do you feel like you've had to prepare mentally for when that moment happens for you, like when you leave, because you're going to come to LA or you're going to go to wherever, and wherever your career.
I sure am coming to LA.
I know,
so
I already know.
sure.
So when your career takes off the way that it will, do you feel like you're going to have to mentally deal with some sort of survivor's remorse, or are you already like, no, like you've prepared your mind not to even go there?
I will be 1,000,000% transparent. I have prepared my mind not to go there, and here's why. We all have 24 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
What you do with those 24 hours, that is on you. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink it. Now, don't get me wrong. I will forever love where I came from, and I will forever root for those that are trying to do what I'm doing. But if I'm trying to get to a certain level and I feel that you're not on the same page as me, I got to go. Since we're talking about Ohio, LeBron James, we all know he wears Akron on his heart and Akron on his sleeve. But where is he currently at right now?
Yeah, he's
in the city of Los Angeles.
Yep. Plain
and simple. Yeah, he's built a school back here in Akron. He's never forgot about his hometown. But I can guarantee you at 6:24 p.m., he is not in Akron, Ohio. You want to know why? Because LeBron even knows I got to keep it pushing. And that's where I'm going to be at. Yes, I'm going to forever love home, and I'm going to forever give back. But make no mistake about it, when it's time to take off, you got to take off. Nobody on an airplane is looking back and saying, dang, I wish I could have brought this person with me. When you on that plane, you already up in the air because you got to go to your destination.
Big facts, big facts. Okay, I hear what you're saying, Chat Lives Matter, about basically it's the barrel that's the problem. Basically, the point about crabs in a barrel was to bring attention to the unnatural environment that the crabs are in. That's what creates the issues, the behavioral issues. I understand that. I totally get that. Well, I'm not sure. It seems as though he has made it over that hump, and hopefully, if people do have to deal with something like that, hopefully they'll move forward and just figure out that everybody has a life to live. Just like you mentioned, Chris, like if you've ever had the opportunity and you didn't take it, that's something that you have to do and like look within for. You can't blame anybody else. You can't make anybody else feel bad for the choices that they've made that created the success for them, that made a way out, So I'll leave that right there. I do want to ask you about this particular thing though, Chris. TikTok, I can't even believe, like, this is the thing. TikTok, it seems as though, well, they're talking about TikTok becoming banned from the U.S. And this has been a discussion before, but obviously they're bringing it back up. They're talking about the fact that there could be some security issues with it. But there's a woman who says, I just read this story. She says she is suing TikTok because her daughter, who used to be very friendly, she used to be nice, she used to be a good kid, quote unquote. She says that she's no longer recognizable because of what TikTok has done, what it has exposed her to, and basically the things that her daughter is picking up from it. Good idea or not so much? Should we ban TikTok? Or, I mean, I want to say this, though. It has created a lot of revenue. Not only itself, because basically the reason why I say, for those who don't know, because we did talk about it before, but if you're not aware, TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and since the Chinese issues that we have had, they talk about the security issues. And so that's why there is the talk about banning TikTok, just so you guys didn't know. But here in the U.S., obviously, not only the new generation, but adults, everybody loves TikTok because it's informative. You can learn a lot, but it's entertaining. It's all the things, and it has created a huge stream of revenue for a lot of creators and a lot of people. So in your thoughts, Chris, I don't know if you use TikTok like that, but is it a good idea or not so much?
It is not a good idea from the standpoint of content creation because a lot of people really blew up from TikTok. And a ton of people need TikTok for their own social media platforms, for, to post their content on. I don't understand how it's TikTok's fault that a young lady now is not recognizable. That is a conversation for a totally different day. But this is the challenging part about social media and why people have to still have a life outside of these apps. Because all they're apps that will mess up your mental if you let it mess up your mental. Yes, I use TikTok. I'm not, going viral like Robin Ayers, but I still use TikTok, all right? I'm not somebody that's on there 24/7 because I have this thing called a life. And I know how to shut that stuff off. So it's a dangerous thing when now we've even come to the point where there's a potential that it can get banned in the United States. But what if people in other countries are having the same issue that we're having here in the States? So I do not believe that banning it is really going to solve anything because there is a ton of money that has been revenued from this country to TikTok.
That's true. From what I understand, this is all allegedly. I have no facts or receipts to prove this, but I saw, I saw other information where in China, if you open up TikTok, they're showing educational videos. They're showing, the kids studying. They're showing all positive content. In the U.S., however, they're showing things that have no real value. Those are the things on our algorithm that kind of pick up and show us, the dances and just the foolishness. And so I don't know who's in control of the algorithms and in what countries. I don't know how that works. And again, this is all alleged information, but regardless, people, I feel like, again, my kids, I was like, you're not even getting on TikTok, not even a little bit for a very long time. They're 17 years old. And I think just within the past year, they got on social media. And so I do think a large part of that is up to us as parents to sort of regulate that.
Is.
Yeah, but I do agree, that's up to all of us really to just kind of regulate our own social media usage because you have to find something outside of it. I do understand you can make a lot of money from it, but you have to control and protect your mental, the fortitude. You know what I'm saying? And TikTok and any other social media can be harmful in terms of that. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna wait and see what happens with that. Chris Gunther, we're going to keep you on the line because when we come forward, I want to talk about this Tia Mowry thing, running into her ex-husband on the red carpet. That's becoming a real viral moment, and people are talking about that. But there's something a little bit deeper I want to kind of go into on the other side. Right now, though, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, BB, and you're listening to me on The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Atlantic City is honoring New Jersey's late Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver with a memorial in her beloved city. Ground was broken this week at City Hall, whose Courtyard Plaza will be named for the black trailblazing Lieutenant Governor who passed away last summer at the age of 71. She was the first black woman to become Assembly Speaker and first to win statewide office as Lieutenant Governor. New York will soon host one of the country's largest black woman-owned manufacturing incubator and accelerator facilities. That's word from Mayor Adams, who says AO Labs at the Brooklyn Navy Yard will focus on helping health and beauty businesses owned by women, black, indigenous, and other people of color to launch and grow in New York City. R.F. Wilkins Consultants has been selected to develop and operate the project, which is expected to create over 900 direct and indirect jobs in the first 5 years. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Expect some heavy delays if you're heading downtown tonight as the Lakers are facing the Bucks at 7 near the Crypto.com Arena. Also adding on to the additional delays, downtown's 10 West before the Mateo Street Santa Fe Avenue split has a stall in the middle lanes with the driver out of the vehicle with its hood up, and stop traffic is forming from the 5-101 interchange. Crenshaw Boulevard over in Hyde Park at 71st Street remains closed in both directions as police are investigating a shooting using West Boulevard or 8th Avenue as your alternate. Please drive safe. And over in Anaheim Hills, watch for an accident blocking the right lane of the 91 East at Highway 241, and stop traffic is coming from Ware Canyon Road, Yorba Linda Boulevard interchange.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Very important game for the Lakers tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks, the number 2 team in the Eastern Conference. The Lakers are a game and a half behind Dallas for the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. At the moment, the Lakers are in 10th place with 18 games left in the regular season. The Lakers have some work to do to get into one of those 8 spots. Tip-off time tonight is 7:30 at Crypto.com. When USC's Juju Watkins scored 17 points Thursday against Arizona, it was her season low against Pac-12 opponents. The Compton freshman is the nation's number 2 scorer with a 27.4 average. USC battles UCLA tonight at 7:30 in the Pac-12 Women's Tournament semifinals in Las Vegas. Tomorrow night at 7 here on KBLA, join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough for Out of Bounds. You can join the conversation at 1-800-920-1580. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Tips to help improve your credit score in 2024. Establishing credit is an important key to achieving financial health, but building a credit history from scratch can feel challenging since you need credit to build credit. First, what does it mean to build credit? All consumers have a score between 300 and 850. You want your score to be as high as possible as lenders look at your credit score to make loan and credit decisions. A good credit score shows you have a track record of borrowing money responsibly. Remember, it's never too late to build or rebuild your credit. This segment is sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. If you're just joining us, come on up in here. We are talking about survivor's remorse and TikTok and the ban of TikTok and possibly the ban of TikTok. We don't know what's going to happen. We have Chris Gunther on the line with us, who is joining us for the second day in a row, kind of third day if you want to take YouTube. He called in from YouTube as well. So shout out to Chris. Definitely good to have you on. It's interesting how things, unfold on this show too, Chris, because, oftentimes I'm going through all the different news pieces that happen all over the internet, and whoever my contributor is for the day, oftentimes they are very perfect to talk about some of these things with, just because their background aligns with, the topics that we're talking about. And these are things that I can't control. I can never control what's going to be in the media any particular day. So the fact that, I have you here with me on the line with me today, talking about survivor's remorse, and all kinds of people deal with it, but a lot of people deal with it when they're from a small town, and then they have either high hopes or they succeed outside of the boundaries of their city where they come from. So that sort of fits right in line, and it's right in alignment with your life in particular. So that's what I'm saying. It's pretty good to have you on to talk about that with. I do want to move on and talk about these other topics here. Shout out to Ty Cole, who's another friend of mine and an entertainment correspondent as well, who does some awesome things out there with a lot of different outlets. Well, he was at the Black Women in Hollywood. It's award season, y'all. There's a lot of things going on. Essence had some things today. And Ty was out there on the red carpet and getting ready to interview Tia Mowry, and he caught on camera right next to her ex-husband, Corey Hardrick, was getting ready to be interviewed as well. And he caught the moment where they looked at each other, and it was this very awkward sort of, hey, hi. He was reaching out to shake her hand, but she gave him a hug, and then there was a little laughter in between. And it happened literally on the red carpet, when there were, usually on the carpet, there are, dozens, if not, multi-dozens of cameras or whatever you have out there. And so the fact that moment happened and Ty caught that moment on camera was strange and awkward. And, we all know that their divorce was finalized just last year in April of last year. And it's sad, the two of them have two beautiful kids together. But even this past, Chris, I don't know if you remember, but in November, Thanksgiving, they had that family photo together, and everybody was wondering, they're like, oh, are they making amends, or are they just being amicable? Whatever the case was, it didn't look awkward. I could say that it did not look awkward, and that was just in November. So what do you make of, the fact that they have to sort of live out the rest of their relationship, their co-parenting, the awkwardness of a divorce, and both being in the entertainment business? They have to do all of that in the public eye.
I think the biggest thing that was more concerning, or that just kind of made me raise my eyebrow a little bit, I believe this was their first time in the same area publicly since the divorce. Like, yes, we know they were together at home taking a family photo on Thanksgiving, but they weren't actually out in public at the exact same time at the exact same event. So clearly that hug was awkward, and you could look at both of their faces and just be like, yeah, okay, exactly. And this is the challenging part that a lot of people have to remember. Celebrities are human at the end of the day. Celebrities are no different than anybody else. The only difference is their bank accounts are significantly longer than other people's.
Sometimes sometimes, yeah, because that is the thought process for most people who are looking at celebrities. Have this thought that just because they see them on television or whatever, that they are balling out of control or have maybe at least a lot more money than what they have. But that is not always the case. So I want to make that clear. That's what a lot of people are fighting for. They're like, listen, we're artists, we're creatives at the same time because we're out here. We don't have a steady paycheck. We don't have a steady job. You get what I'm saying? So,
Right.
So oftentimes that's the case, but sometimes it's not.
No, you're 100% right about it. And I just think in that moment, it was significantly awkward. They were trying to figure out how do we navigate, but guess what? We got to do something because all these cameras are around here.
Yeah.
So let's give each other that fake church hug that we didn't all gave somebody who we know we don't really like. Oh, yeah. Growing up in the Pentecostal assemblies of the world, I saw that every Sunday, all right? So, yeah, I know all about the little fake church hug or, anytime you out and about and there's somebody you really don't rock with, but they trying to approach you and you just got to kind of try to be cordial, knowing deep down inside you don't like this person. Now, clearly, it still seems that they are cordial and that it seems like they're still at least friendly. I'm not going to go so far to say that they're still friends, but they're in the public. You got to do something because everybody's camera is watching. Everybody's phone is out. So you got to figure out a way to try to make this look like, hey, we cool. We just didn't work out. That's still, my homie. Knowing deep down inside, thinking you like, man, I can't believe my ex-wife is here. Now I got to sit up here and try to front. Because clearly you could look at his face and see he was bothered. And she was too. Because Tia done had that fake smile for a little bit now. And I looked at it. I'm like, all right, now, look, I've never met the woman. She seems very nice and genuine. But in that moment right there, it looks like that was a little bit fake. Just saying. Well,
okay, so what do you think about the fact that what part do we play? All right, so the shout out to Ty Cole, and I was
who does
having
an amazing job.
He does a wonderful job. I was actually saying I've caught many moments on the red carpet that only I caught, right? And I might post it to my personal social media or something like, oh, like, look at what I caught. It might be a wholesome moment. Like I remember catching Will Smith and Martin Lawrence did. They were on the red carpet. Martin Lawrence came out to represent and support Will at one of his red carpet moments. And they hugged and they kind of fell down to one knee together. It was really cute, but not a lot of people caught that moment. And I caught that moment, but I thought it was wholesome. I thought it was good. I thought it was nice. Do we play a part in pushing things out there or keeping things private just for this? I don't even know if you can have a private moment if you're on the carpet. Is that to be expected of them, or does it look bad on us as people, reporters and things like that when we capture a moment and put things out there that may not even want to be seen? And this is again, we have all been in this situation. And I was telling my husband when I was talking to him about this, I couldn't say that I wouldn't have put that out there too. Like if I saw Tia and her husband having this moment, I don't know how I would have handled it, but I'm just saying I'm not mad at anybody for putting that out there. But we are in this position. We are media, and a lot of people sometimes say, well, you guys are irresponsible with how you put information out there, and a lot of the false narratives are being pushed by the media. So do we have a part in sort of respecting their privacy, or can they not even expect privacy because they're two celebrities on a red carpet in front of all these cameras?
We definitely play a part in it because this is still our job. This is what we do. And we understand that, sometimes you got to give people their privacy and you got to, kind of give people their space. But when you are in a public setting and you are extremely known as Tia Mowry and Corey Hardig are, you can expect somebody to capture that. You can expect the Shade Room to repost it because of the type of high-profile celebrity that Tia is, and that, Corey has become very relevant with, Homecoming and things of that nature. So therefore, it's not like they were just out there and really thought nobody was going to pick it up, because we live in a day and age where there is no such thing as privacy on a red carpet. Everybody's got their phones out. Everybody is capturing it. Everybody wants to put that video up so they can get credit for it and get reposted. It's the nature of the business that we live in now.
Yeah, everybody wants it. Everybody wants it, and everybody wants to either be a star or get to, I don't know what it is.
What I want?
What do you want? What do you want, Chris?
Just give me the check, okay? Just give me the check. I'm good. Y'all you can get credit for it. Just give me the dead presidents, preferably those that last name Franklin, all right?
Yeah. You know what? What's interesting, I read or I was watching a video on Will.i.am, who was talking about him being sort of a private behind the scenes investor in Beats by Dre, and nobody really knew that. He said, you don't always have to be the forefront. You don't have to be the person who's being seen. Oftentimes, he said, that's the best place to be is in the background. That's where you make the deals and, and then collect your millions of dollars with the great ideas. So I didn't even know that. That's how well he hid the fact that he was even involved with Beats. Is he hadn't spoken about it, and I didn't know it until I saw that video recently. So you're right. You're right. Get that money. It's to me, it's not necessarily always about the fame or anything like that. I think what I've always wanted, Chris, is what I've always said. I want to be able to use my platform and put goodness out there into the world. And I've always wanted to be a light, and I've always wanted to be encouraging and empowering and help people. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And what I've said is the larger the platform, the more people that I can reach with that good stuff. So that's always my intention. It's never really the stardom. It's not the stardom. It's not the all eyes on me. That's not the lens that I look through it with. But what I have said is, well, if I get a large enough platform, and that's going to come by way of a talk show. I remember my friend Brandy, shout out to Brandy Norwood. She was one of the first people who believed in me, and she said, you're going to have your own show one day. And she was getting me in front of all these cameras, and but she knew, she said, you are pure light. You are pure light. And so that deserves to have a big platform, because especially if you keep it in check. Now, don't come out here and start thinking, don't start smelling your own roses and drinking your own juice, but keep it in check and maintain that goodness and that light, and things will happen for you. And she was right. And here I am. I have a radio talk show. So, God is good.
100%. And if you don't mind me, I just want to get in here real fast and just give you your flowers again, because what you set out to do beforehand is why people like me are able to contribute, because of what you have said you wanted to do. You said you wanted to get a good platform and be the love and be the joy that we need in this crazy media industry space. Mm-hmm. And you have done that. And if everybody in the, Raw chat, everybody over here in the Raw squad, if y'all can just give this woman her flowers every single time she's behind this mic, I think this world would be much better off. And shout out to Brandy, and shout out to all of them wonderful people that, you have been able to do interviews with. But I wouldn't be too surprised if, maybe within the next year or so, all of a sudden Robin just takes off. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate the flowers, and obviously I return them back to you. Damian Rowe, thank you so much. I appreciate that love. And that's the goal of it all. That is the goal of it all. As long as I have a reach, a voice, a platform, I will always do my very best to help people and take something good from what we're hearing. Something, because it's always crazy out there. It's always mess, and it's always so, sometimes trifling, you know what I'm saying? And people run with that. And we talked about this yesterday, how people are gravitating towards the negativity and the trauma. And it's like, well, yeah, these things are happening, but if we can do our very best to take the trauma, talk about, something from the trauma that turns into something good that we can learn from, let's have conversation around it. Let's put movement behind it. Let's do something for the people. And that is always the goal. So I appreciate you for being on that journey with me, Chris. And, you continue to do your fantastic jobs of interviewing people and getting on that red carpet. And one of these days, we're going to see you here in LA. We're going to be on the same carpet together. And I'm going to be like, what up, Chris? And Chris is going to be like, what up, Robin? That's going to be great.
That's going to be like the ultimate little brother, big sister moment, because I'm looking forward to that. Lord willing, it happens sooner than later. And there's a lot more that I want to say, but I'm going to keep my comments for off the air. There we go. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Thank you so much. Well, I have to, we got to move on now. But Chris, I appreciate you so much for joining the Rob Report today. And you already know, I'm looking forward to having you back. Let everybody know where they can find you online.
You can find me online at Chris Gunther on all social media. Continue to support. I greatly appreciate it. And make sure that y'all continue to rock out on the Raw Report Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Peace and love, y'all.
Thank you so very, very much. And thank you guys in the comments. I see your love and the flowers. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. This comment is pretty dope, though. Lavelle says, this is the first radio show I've been an active participant on. Love the show. Thank you, Robin. That means a lot to me. And it means a lot to me for all of you guys to be active participants in the Raw Squad. I appreciate you. When we come forward, we've got a Who's Got Next for you on the other side. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you fallen behind on your water and power bill? LADWP has made paying your past due bills even easier. Sign up anytime online for Level Pay to get set monthly bills that include past due amounts. Or check out the special extended payment arrangements of up to 48 months to help pay down your bill. Visit ladwp.com/cares and sign up today. That's ladwp.com/cares.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Once again, I want to shout out you guys for the love inside of our YouTube chat. The Raw Squad, y'all are just, man, y'all dope. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's go ahead and get into this. Who's Got Next? This, and I love when you guys send music, by the way, so please don't stop. This is Levada Musée featuring D Trill, called Deeper. Let's check it out.
You really gonna stay in while I'm talking? Grinding. I mean, like, who could you possibly be on the phone with? Who on this phone more important than me though? I'm just saying, like, how many of these contacts is gonna help you at night? How many of them? Okay, well, why we talking about the same thing? I know the grind don't stop, but neither do we.
Man, what are we doing, man, baby? What the hell you got my phone for?
I'm just trying to
Okay, we
figure
get a
out
movie.
what are we doing.
How deep is your love? Can you go deeper? Can you go deeper? I'll always ride for you. I've gotta always try for you. Can you go deeper? Can you go deeper? That's all I'm asking for. I'm looking in your eyes and I can see your soul smile. I know you down for the kid, you held it down for a while. I hold you close every night, I wanna lay in your skin. My walk with God that got strong, feel like you saved me from sin. I remember way back when, my heart was colder than wind. Somehow you broke and got me smiling in my pictures again. Every day it gets better, we can make it through whatever. Wear my love like a sweater, you get conquered the weather. Talk to the town, they in our bed, they say we rockin' together. If they ain't happy, then we happy, that must mean that they jealous. I put a ring on your finger, feel like I'm rockin' forever. Can't get no deeper than the presence, so I love you in heaven. How deep is your love?
That's Levada Muse featuring D Trill called Deeper. Okay. Levada, I think that's her who's singing. Levada Muse. Okay. All right. Well, if y'all are feeling it, check it out. And thank you guys again for sending me music. Because, you know, my ears be to the streets. My eyes be to the streets. But I need, you know, y'all are the Rod Squad. Y'all are part of this with me. So I definitely appreciate all of you. Again, happy Friday to you. I hope you truly enjoy your weekend. Get some rest. Take some time and just chill. Take naps, whatever you got to do. I appreciate all of you. You know that we are back with another great show Monday. And usually Monday shows are pretty fire because a lot of things happen over the weekends that we'll talk about. So anyway, this has been fun. Thank you so much to Chris Gunther for calling in again today. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Raw Squad, for all of the engagement. All right, y'all. I'm about to go and enjoy my night. My name is Robin Ayers, your host. And remember, today and every single day forward, be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Atlantic City is honoring New Jersey's late Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver with a memorial in her beloved city. Ground was broken this week at City Hall, whose